Moving on to our main story tonight, tampering, a concept that we all have a vague understanding of but very strong opinions on, like net neutrality or the movie Inception. Tampering has been a hot topic across the NBA for the last few months, so of course, when the whole league gathered in one place for All-Star last weekend, things were bound to happen. They may have been in Charlotte, but it sure felt like Tampa. I liked it. There was a photo of LeBron and Anthony Davis where it looks like LeBron's eyes are saying, "You ready for all this?" And AD's are saying, "Oh my God, LeBron, hi." There was Katie and Kyrie chatting in a hallway, and if you slow it down right here, you can see Kyrie clearly says 2 max slots. It's time, right? Or maybe he said, "do max shots with lime." I don't know. Hell, LeBron's All-Star team was dubbed Team Tampering by fans and media alike because he drafted KD, Kyrie, Kawhi, and of course...
With my first pick in the second round, I'm going with Anthony Davis.
You sure you want him to be your teammate?
I'm very sure of that.
Isn't that tampering?
No.
I mean, isn't it? I'm really not sure. Isn't that tampering? Was the theme of the whole weekend. It felt like everybody was kind of tampering, but maybe not tampering, except Bradley Beal, who was openly tampering, but no one cares because LOL, it's the Wizards. The funny thing is, All-Star Weekend was supposed to be drama-free now. Like, it used to be wild because it came right before the trade deadline, and guys were finding out they got traded in real time.
All-Star questions first, please. Yeah. All-Star game questions.
What other questions we got?
Hey, DeMarcus, can you kind of sum up your All-Star experience and...
Oh, really?
Can you can decide.
That's whatever.
That facial expression paired with "it's whatever" means you've either just been traded and found out, or your significant other just asked to see your phone. It's whatever. Moments like that, though, are why 2 years ago the NBA decided to move the trade deadline to before the All-Star break. They wanted the weekend to be more about players having fun and less about speculation. Unfortunately, in the NBA, players having fun is the direct cause of speculation. So that's like saying, I want tonight to be more about me taking a bunch of shots and less about me puking in my purse. Whether you like it or not, we're gonna get both. It's hard to tell where the line between camaraderie and tampering is drawn, and that's because more often than not, the things that lead up to allegations of tampering are seemingly harmless. Like, consider the most recent example.
Let's talk about LeBron James making headlines earlier this week when our Dave McMenamin asked him whether he'd like the Lakers to trade for Anthony Davis, and LeBron answered, "That would be amazing." Like, duh, that would be incredible.
Yeah, nothing too shocking there. AD, very good at his job. LeBron, very good at his job. Dave McMenamin and Rachel Nichols, very good at their jobs. So as far as this headline goes, it was very tame and kind of obvious, but it prompted the NBA to send out a memo reminding teams that tampering is not allowed. The memo noted that while a player expressing interest in another team's player isn't tampering, quote, teams should be aware that the scope of the anti-tampering rule is broad, and its application in any given case is based on all facts and circumstances. Accordingly, conduct that does not violate the rule in any single instance may nevertheless constitute a violation if it becomes repeated or part of a broader collection of improper actions. So basically, you're fine. Until, maybe soon, someday in the future, you're not fine. That was not okay. And unfortunately for Anthony Davis, that day was pretty soon.
So yesterday, the NBA fines Anthony Davis and his agent $50,000. For publicly requesting a trade.
Sorry, was that like $50,000 isn't a lot of money? I mean, sure, AD makes $25 million a year, but he has to pay a car's worth of money just because he said, "Hi, I'd like to go soon?" Also, he's a 25-year-old who wants to move to LA, and those improv classes not going to pay for themselves. But The problem is the league's tampering rule is really confusing, and even when they re-emphasize it, they use really vague wording that makes it impossible to tell what is a big deal and what does not matter at all. It also makes it kind of impossible to enforce.
It's hard to tamper, and it's even harder to prove because, I mean, it's not like players aren't aware of everything that's going on, and their agents aren't aware of everything that's going on within different organizations, and their agents know everybody in all the different organizations. So it's really hard to do and hard to prove.
It's true. That's why only a few teams and front office people have been fined for it in the past. Like on this list, I see Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban, who was fined $100,000 for comments made about LeBron James in 2010, and then again for a separate incident in 2015. But that aside, he isn't wrong. One thing that does make it hard to prove is that agents represent players from teams across the league. So, for example, let's say Karl Anthony Towns demands a trade to Philly one day, and the Wolves think it's the result of tampering. They might want to prove that his agent had contact with the Sixers. The only problem is his agent is Leon Rose, who also reps Joel Embiid, who plays for the Sixers. So you would have to prove that his agent was not only in contact with the Sixers, but that he was specifically talking about Towns and not Embiid, which is very hard to do. So the tampering rule as it stands is vague, hard to understand, and hard to enforce, which feels like the league is really setting everyone up for failure. But it turns out they do offer some help.
When you started this job, did they sit you down and say, okay, so here are some things you have to know? Like, you can't do an interview and say you want the specific player.
That's right.
And did you have to learn?
Yeah, I had to go to school. I had to go to CBA school, salary cap school, and tampering school.
I don't know why that's funny, but okay, tampering school, that's interesting. And just a few moments later, Magic got a chance to show everybody what he learned in tampering school. Let's go ahead and see how that went.
What constitutes tampering? Like, if you're on vacation and you run into Paul George, are you not allowed to speak to him?
No, we're going to say hi because we know each other.
I see.
You just can't say, hey, I want you to come to the Lakers, even though I'm going to be winking like, you know what that means, right?
Magic! No! I mean, I guess in fairness, he said he went to those schools. He did not say he graduated. That wink-blink debacle earned the Lakers a warning, and then eventually the league fined them $500,000 for the whole Paul George saga, which Magic took responsibility for. Look, everybody makes mistakes, okay? The important thing here is that you learn from it, you know, and you're not going to do it.
Breaking news, people. The NBA just announced it has fined the Lakers $50,000 for tampering.
Why? What? It hadn't even been a year since the last tamper tantrum. There must have been something really bad. What happened?
He was talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo. He was just sort of speaking as an elder statesman of the game. Quote, this dude is going to put Milwaukee on the map. He's going to bring them a championship one day. How is that tampering?
Well, I think you, in essence, made the point that context is everything, and there had been a prior issue with the Lakers earlier this season, and the message to not just Magic, but all the executives in the league is stop talking about players on other teams.
But is it, though? Is that the message that you're sending them? I mean, look, the league certainly has a case to make when it comes to a specific type of tampering, like what happened with Joe Smith back in 2000 when a league investigation found that he and the Timberwolves had a side agreement for a future contract that would circumvent the salary cap. That kind of tampering should obviously be taken seriously and kept out of the league. But this other stuff, the fun winky-blinky stuff? Come on, Adam. You kind of love it.
Not only does the league allow this to go on, but they condone it. They like what comes with this, the interest it generates in the league, the money, the revenue that comes with this constant soap opera.
The NBA does not want it to stop. Tampering, as you mentioned, has built super teams. It built the Miami Heat. It built the Golden State Warriors. It had a factor in building the Rockets, had a factor in putting these Lakers together.
Exactly. The league says that they hate this, but they do not. It's like when a Real Housewife says, oh my God, I hate the drama. Like, I don't believe you, Vicky. You've been on the show for 13 years. I would argue that the league loves this harmless tampering more than almost anyone.
It should be noted, Magic Johnson was a great player. He now leads the NBA in tampering. He's become very good at it. Magic Johnson rolls out of bed and he's just tampering. With the light switch, with his bagel, Magic Johnson tampers 24/7.
Yeah, Magic Johnson tampers so much they should call him the president of basketball tamperations. I shouldn't have done that. I thought we were doing a bit. Point is, Magic Johnson is not trying to break the rules. He's not trying to tamper and be a bad guy. It is just an inconvenient combination of the rules being kind of silly and Magic having this habit of saying the quiet part out loud. He's been doing that forever. He did it before he was even officially with the Lakers. In 2016, when he was an honorary vice president for the team, he tweeted that the Lakers should sign Kevin Durant and LeBron. First of all, great idea, Magic. Can't believe no one else thought of that. But second of all, you cannot do that. And because of those tweets, Magic, his glorious reign as the honorary VP came to an end. But then he started actually working with the team, and he did it with Luol Deng.
Did you guys have any substantive conversations that would have gotten you off of the Deng contract?
We wish, huh?
What? That part is for in here. Don't let it come out of here. He also did it at the World Series.
This is between you and me. Nobody's watching. Nobody need to know. What are you gonna take to bring LeBron to the Lakers? I'll pay the fine. I'll pay the fine.
Don't answer.
I'll pay the fine.
I'm gonna be in trouble. I'm gonna be in trouble. But you know what? We're trying to build a championship team with the Lakers, and hopefully next summer we'll be in line to sign free agents. That's how you do it.
That is how you do it. That is how you tamper. A good sign, though, is if Magic Johnson high fives or fist bumps you, there's a pretty good chance he either just did or is about to do the tampering. Even when he is not doing something tampery, he finds a way to make it sound tampery as
I was wondering if you enjoy watching Ben Simmons play.
Oh, for sure. For sure. He reached out to me, not to me directly, to the Lakers to find out if we can get together this summer. I said, hey, you got to clear it with the league. If everybody, the Sixers sign off, we sign off, the league sign off, that there's not nothing going on, but he wants to know how to play the position as a big guard, da-da-da-da-da-da.
There's nothing going on is a thing you say only when there's definitely something going on. But even with all of that, with all those tampers, the Lakers never ended up getting Paul George. They didn't get Giannis or Ben Simmons. They got LeBron, but I highly doubt that this did that when he high-fived him. I don't think he was like, oh man, now that I've seen that, going to the Lakers. This is all harmless and fun, and we love this so much. Look, Magic is not going to circumvent the salary cap to sign someone because he doesn't need to. So, in an effort to get the league off of his back and to encourage him to continue to do this, we have created a device that can help them judge whether or not he's tampering. It is a specially designed Magic 8-ball. Okay? Thank you. So, here's how it works. So the next time someone reports Magic for tampering with Ben Simmons or Anthony Davis or a bagel, you take out the Magic 8-ball and you ask it, Magic 8-ball, was this tampering? And then you see what it says. It says no. Because it always says no. Because no one cares about tampering!